Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome to another Microsoft Flight Simulator video. In this one, I thought we'd go to Panama and have a look at what Panama City looks like and the Panama Canal. So I've set us up in the DA40 because, well, I quite like flying the DA40, quite frankly. It's well equipped and it flies quite well. And I thought we'll take off from the north side. Panama Canal is this area here, that connection through there. It's quite open initially. And then there's actually a series of locks. If it's modeled correctly, there should be, I think, two sets of locks here, the old one and the new one. And then it opens up quite a bit, and then it winds its way through this kind of river almost, and then there's some more locks here. And there's a bridge, Panama Bridge is here, I think, and then Panama City is actually there. So I don't know what it's going to look like. I've put it on live weather, so it should be interesting to say the least, because I think if we zoom out, you can see, well, it's kind of covered in a bit of cloud at the moment, so it should be fun. Also, top left of the screen, you'll see I've got the MSI Afterburner frame rate tracking running, because a number of you have been asking about this stuff and saying, could you please put a frame rate tracker on there just so we can see what kind of frame rates you're getting. So I thought for this flight, I'll do it. I'm not going to do it for every flight because, frankly, I think it just kind of spoils the view. But for this one, I thought we'll do it, and then you can see what's going on. The specs for my PC are in the video description. Specs.squirrel.tv. I'll show you all of my hardware bits and pieces. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the ramp and get this thing started up and go and see Panama. Right, here we are in the parking ramp. Nutty 555, good to go. It's quite a, obviously, default airport by the look of it. It's not a bad one though, and if you look in the distance, let me just speed up the climb. There we go. If you look in the distance, you can see some rather interesting looking low-level cloud. That is the coastline there, and we will be, I think the wind's coming in from, well, 1.5, so we're going to be doing 1.8 departure, and then we'll take off, turn to the right, and then that is the actual estuary. If I bring up the map, you'll be able to see it a bit easier. We are here, so that body of water there, you can see, was just the bay. What we'll do is we'll take off and we'll sort of head west a little bit towards MPFS, and then we'll turn south, and that's where the actual locks, in fact, you can see them here. I think that's the old one, and that's a new one. I recognise I'm sure I saw a documentary once on, I saw a documentary once on Discovery or something, and it had the building of the Panama Canal. So anyway, we're going to head out this way, navigate through these waters here, and then there's the actual sort of canal system, and then there's the other locks on the other side. That is where we'll be landing, MPMG. But what we'll do is we'll kind of have a look around and have a look around Panama itself and see what it looks like. One thing before we begin, I should probably show you my graphics settings, because obviously if you're looking at the frame rates up at the top, you're probably wondering what kind of graphics settings I'm on. So let's have a quick look at that. If we go into General and then Graphics, basically I am on a custom setting. Essentially, it's Ultra with some tweaking. So let me explain what I've done. If you put this on Ultra and then dial back the terrain level from maximum 200 to 150, and the same with the objects, and then I've dialed back the waterways from Ultra to High, and the contact shadows from Ultra to High, ambient occlusion from Ultra to High, and then I've turned off depth of field. Other than that, that is Ultra. So most of it's Ultra, but there's some settings there that I think do make a difference, but you can kind of, if you like, live without. So let us start, and we'll get the aircraft warmed up, and then we'll go for a flight. Okay, first things first, let's see, let's get my cameras working here. Parking brake is set, that's this thing here. What else do we need? We need to put on the, I'm trying to think of the order you do this now. We put on the battery and electric, well, it's this one first, I think. It's the master start switch goes on, like that, and then the electric master comes on. And then the systems will start to initialize. Actually, I think it's the other way around. I think it's that one first and then this one. We're just got to wait for the... Let's cancel that. We're just going to wait for things to warm up before we can hit the start button. So that's on. Everything looks good. Throttle lever is back. And we should be able to do a start. Actually, I better wait for this to power up. There we go. Managed to click it the wrong way, so they're going to initialize again. Oh well. It's a lot easier in real life. You just grab hold of it and turn. With this thing, if you just the very, like, one pixel off, like, it flicks from one turn to the other. Anyway, let's get the avionics master switch turned on. I should have put the strobe on before I did that. Get some panel lighting just in case it gets dark in the cockpit, which I don't think it will. Pitot heat... I don't think... Like, if we end up touching a bit of cloud, I may turn it on, but mostly I don't think we'll need it. Let's get the barrow set to 30-foot elevation. That looks good. Heading bug will set for... Whoops. Runway heading. Which is approximately 150. And altitude, we don't want to fly too high. So I think we can probably get away with 1500. I'm just trying to think if there's going to be any... If we're flying the waterways, we're fine. I mean, there are some hills around here, obviously. This is Panama, after all. But we should be okay at 1500, so let's get our taxi lights turned on. And you can see our flight plan is in there with our destination, but we're going to fly VFR, so it doesn't make much difference. Yeah, that's all good to go. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. Nope, okay. Now, we could request taxi, blah, 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 from these boys, but frankly, I'm just going to ignore the stuff, and we're just going to get out of here. The way the game works, if there's any kind of AI aircraft around, then, you know, if we land up on a runway and there's one coming in, it'll just route them away. It'll just... It's quite nice. It's like you're VIP, you know? It's like you're the president, and they'll just kind of move out the way. They'll go around and stuff. Which is, I think it's a nice way of doing it. I'm kind of curious what happens, though, when you've got live traffic turned on. I've not actually tried it with live traffic. Okay, so we want to taxi down here. I think runway 15 is quite long, but we should be okay, actually. Okay, we've got the wind on here. We can get the... Let's see how we do this. Let's see the IDF. Transponders here, by the way. You can put altitude, then code. You can put like 7,000 in like that. So that'll put your transponder to altitude on 7,000, which is what you need. I think it's 7,000 in Panama. I assume they follow what North America does, but I haven't actually checked. CDI, it's got like that. PFD, bearing, there we go. So it tells us we're 31 nautical away now from MPPA. Okay. Right, that's all I want to do with that. Actually, it looks like the wind is cunningly turned around. It's not much of a wind. Well, I think we should probably turn around. Still 180. There we go. So if you're kind of new to GA flying, you do need to have rudder pedals and, importantly, access to left and right braking, like what they call the toe brakes. The actual pedals down here, you move them like that, but they actually have, you push your foot down, you get a brake. There's a left and a right brake. When you want to do a turn like that, you obviously need to push with your left foot to turn left, but you also need to hold down the left brake so that you effectively hold the left wheel and allow the right wheel to come around, and that's how you do a sharp turn. Is this boy gonna... Dude. Dude! Whew, thank God for that. Get your transit van out of here, Sonny. bet you he comes back over here and sideswipes me. No, it looks like he's doing something. That plane there. Yeah, so anyway, we'll take off on the reciprocal. Which is what, 3-2, something like that? We'll just line up and press the heading button. It'll be a lot easier to do it that way. Anyway, you can see the frame rates are holding quite nicely over 50 FPS, which considering them ultra is not bad, but you know, if you watch the Athens video I did talk about this stuff. There's not a lot of scenery around here. It's not a lot of buildings, so you know, you can expect decent frame rates. And with two screens in here, as you can see, we've still got good FPS. Interestingly, if you jump in the Citation CJ4, I've noticed those screens cause about between 10 and 20 FPS drop. It's significant. You know, I can be outside pushing 55 FPS. I jump in the cockpit, I'm doing 35 FPS. So I think, you know, on the Citation, there's plenty of optimization to do, whereas on this works quite well. Like if I go external camera, you'll see my FPS is what, 50? And if I'm inside, it doesn't really change. Do that in Citation, completely different affair. Anyway, I'm hoping this will be good. I don't know if they've done anything to Panama at all. Whether it's just like a generic thing or whether they've added any custom buildings. But Panama Canal will be interesting. It kind of depends when they got their when they did their scans as to how detailed it is. And also, I've noticed they tend not to do, you know, ships that much. You often see like JPEG images of the satellite of the ship on the ground, and no actual ship. So I'm not really expecting to see any ships going down the canal. One day maybe. That'd be cool. Right, taxi off. Landing, come off. Position light, come on. Strobes are already on. Let's set. Takeoff flaps. That's not takeoff flaps. That's takeoff flaps. See the indicator there? Yep, takeoff flaps. It's good. Runway is clear. Let's line up and just do our final checks. Nice long runway, but there's a big pack of trees at the end, so at some point you're committed, aren't you? Right, northerly heading. So we'll just bring up the VFR map a second. We're going to climb out on a northerly, and then we'll turn and we'll basically come down and see if we can see any canals here. What's something I was going to do on here? I can't remember what it was. No, it's not ADF. Ah, that was it. Yeah. So rotate speed is 69 knots, and our climb out is 80 knots. That's our best climb VY. That's what I was looking for. So rotate at 69, climb out at 80. Sounds good to me. Right, anything else we need to do? Nope. Let's make sure everything's holding. Temperatures and pressures are all holding. Alright, let's go. Let's go to Panama. Speed's building. 30 knots so far. Just let back now. And when she wants to fly, she'll fly. Ease it back. Looking for 80. There's 80. That's our best climb. We are a little bit heavy. I put a fair amount of fuel in because I didn't exactly know how much flying we'd be doing. Well, those trees are looking awfully close. Blimey. We're only just at tree height. These are really, really high trees. I wonder if I like that in real life. Okay. Right, 300 feet. Bring the flaps up. Retrim, and we are good. Excellent. Yep, cleared the trees. I can imagine if you're a little bit heavy, barreling down there with those trees, that's quite scary. Okay, so if we had an engine failure at this point, I'd be probably heading towards that water there. Or maybe we'd go for the field in front. We haven't really got time to turn. Anyway, we're not going to have an engine failure today, so this is some nice scenery. Right, let's get the landing lights off. Holding 80 knots on the climb. And just a gentle right one turn. I've done a pretty decent job round here, I have to say. Yeah, I think we'll aim, looking at this cloud layer here, I think we're going to have to sort of go for like 1500 or something. I think any higher than that, we're going to be in the clouds. It's quite low cloud cover. And there's the airfield we just took off out of. I'm approaching 1500. So I'm going to start levelling off. Speed build. Let's bring the RPM back. There we go. Okay, right, let's see if we can get some automation going here. So heading, autopilot. Do an altitude hold. Yep, straight away I can see cloud cover coming up. So our actual entrance, we'll just keep heading southwest, but I want to just avoid this cloud. So we'll just steer a little bit to the left. Don't really want to fly through that. Oh, this altitude thing is so fiddly when you're trying to... In real life, there's just a big knob and a little knob, and the big knob turns it in thousands, and the little knob does it in hundreds. And it's so easy to deal with. In this thing, with the cockpit, track IR and everything, you're like... And it's so easy to click the wrong thing. Just watching the RPMs there. Like, I want to go fairly quickly, but I don't want to over RPM it. Oh, look! I can actually see the canal, you see it? So this is like the entrance. This is, I don't know if you know about the Panama Canal, I'm sure most of you do, but just in case you don't, the reason the Panama Canal is so significant is because it's a gateway that cuts across the land of North and South America. And without this canal, before this canal was even built, ships would have to go all the way around South America. And around the bottom of South America, that was the Cape Horn, I think it is. It's an absolute nightmare. You know, there's been so many ships that have been lost at sea there. It's horrible. But this can literally cut, like, you know, weeks off your journey time. Instead of going around South America, you can just cut across here. So it's very, very, very significant for shipping. Let me just quickly reset the drone. There we go. So we're going to fly through a little bit of cloud here. We're also going to have just a quick look outside, because I want to see what it looks like. Okay, let's put the pizza on a second while we're punching through this. We can still see land, so strictly speaking, well, we're not quite VFR, but it's only for a few seconds. There we go. Well, it's not bad, by the look of it. It's not bad at all. So, I think that's the, you can actually see, look, there you go, it's like a JPEG of a ship. That's the old one, right there. Looks like they've got some elevation weirdness going on. You can see where the container ships come in, and I think this is the new one. This is a complete mess. The new one's wider, and it has these bodies of water here that are used as like locks to contain the water that then moves in. But that is a mess. That needs overhauling. I don't know what's happened there. Unless that's the old one being deconstructed and this is the new one. I mean, I could have this all the way around. That looks pretty decent. If they actually converted that ship into a real ship, that would look really good. But that's not bad. That is not bad. Oh, look at this though. This looks good. Right, if we bring up our little VFR map, what we'll do is we'll head southeast towards this area here. So we'll turn the old heading book. Oh, this is nice scenery. This is beautiful. Look at this. Oh, the clouds behind us and everything. This is amazing. It's like wonderful low-level clouds, and then you've got all the trees and the water. It's just fantastic. Look at that. That looks splendid. It's just a pity about that canal. They've done a very good job on this. Okay, just turn left slightly a bit more, I think. So, probably aim for this. We're going to have to dynamically fly this. We're on live weather, so the weather is literally like this right now. Which means I don't know what it's going to do. It's unpredictable. If we see pockets like this, like low pockets, we'll aim for the gaps. But what we're trying to do is get southeast. What I want to know is when the ships come into here, are there any rules about which way they go? Like, do they, you know, ships coming in go down that side and ships coming out come up this side? Like, are there any rules of the game? Or is it just a complete, you know, every man for himself kind of thing? If you guys are shipping buffs, maybe you can let me know in the comments. Look at the water there, it's gone like a really light blue. It's beautiful. Just touching into some cloud again. Turn the pitot heat off now, I don't think we need it. I remember when, you know, in my training, different instructors had different things to say about pitot tubes and pitot heating and stuff. Like, some of them will always say, notice the frame rate, by the way. When you go through cloud, I've noticed the frame rate goes down. And we just went right through a cloud. If you go through really heavy cloud, your frame rate really does take a bit of a beating, I've noticed. Yeah, different instructors used to say different things. Like, some of them would say, you know, if in doubt, just put the pitot tube on. And then others would say, oh, you don't need it on, and if you turn it on, it just, you know, if you leave it off, it'll prolong the life of the pitot tube. And then the other instructor would say, who cares about the life of the pitot tube? We're not paying for this. But like the owner is, you know, it's better to have an accurate pitot tube. So these debates used to just ring on and on and on. And then always end up referring it to the chief instructor. He would give them a ruling on it, basically. That looks beautiful. Wow, I mean, this is like probably a place in the world that I will never, ever come to. I would have absolutely no reason to come here. But thanks to this sim, I could just come and see it. That's awesome. Lovely colour water. I think the colour changed as well as we were flying along, like the different lighting. We got a massive break in the clouds here above us, and it just brought more light in, and then the colour changed. I tell you what though, if you've got an engine failure, you're basically going in the water, aren't you? There's no land here. There's nowhere to land on, it's just trees. Okay, let's just turn to the right slightly. I mean, you know, if you're doing this for real, you'd probably fly higher anyway. Good thing is, there's probably a lot of ships coming through here all the time, so if you did have an engine failure, just aim to sort of touch down in the water somewhere very close to a ship, and if you survive, then hopefully you'll get rescued. Off to our left there, I can't work out if that's just sunlight coming down or rain. Going in approximately the right direction, as you can see. What we're aiming to do is follow this. You can see how it goes from like open waters and it just narrowly becomes a river. There's also some more water here which I think comes down this way, and then it all tracks down through here. Actually zoom out. This is the Pacific up here, this is North America, and this is all South America, so yeah, you cut through here, otherwise you've got to go all the way around that continent. I just noticed the GPS has given us MPPA, not MPEJ-MPMG. It's given us MPPA. What if I loaded the wrong airport in the flight plan? Go and look at that. I think we'll turn left and track this water line. It does appear to get a bit misty over here though. I'm looking forward to seeing Panama. I hope they've done some work on it. Wow. Look at the colour of the water here. It's instead of being blue, it's gone to like a green. It's incredible. That is some of the best water that you'll see in a sim. That's great. By the way, my GPU is basically pegged right now at 100%. So all those ultra settings, it basically can't do any more. And I've got a 2080 Ti, just to give you an idea of what you'll need to get this kind of fidelity at what currently 46 FPS. Also, I'm going to have to put the aircon on in my room because it's getting quite warm again. So we'll have to live with a bit more microphone noise, because honestly it's so hot. It's like 30 Celsius outside, and in my room it gets even hotter. I like turning the aircon off so I don't get any background noise on the mic, but frankly it's just necessary. What is that? There's some weird tessellation thing going on here. That block is actually moving with us. It's as if the game is discovering more detailed scenery as we get near it, but they've got some kind of weird elevation height difference. That is so odd. Do you know what? I think, see in the distance there, I think that might be Panama. It would make sense. Let's turn and follow the water line. It would definitely make sense. I can't make out if I'm dreaming, or is that a bridge? Might just be a bit of land. That is so weird. Okay. T's and P's are looking good. Fuel, we'll transfer a bit of fuel from the right to the left tank here. You can see that it's getting a little bit asymmetric. Clear the alert, it's just enunciated that the pump's still on, it's fine. Hopefully I'll remember to turn it off. External camera. good thing about the external camera is it works with track IR as well, like you can still look around. Which is kind of handy if you have track IR. The only issue I've seen with track IR, and bearing in mind this is a preview, and they said it's going to be in there for release. The only thing I've seen in the preview is if I pause track IR, it does a weird thing. I'll show you. If I pause it now, so I can, you see that? Just this like weird flick now and again. There you go. It's really odd. And it does it in the main menu as well. If you've got track IR enabled and you pause it, you're in the main menu, you see the background flick. It's a bit weird. It would be so good to see some ships coming down here. Do you know what? Looking in the distance though, I'm kind of thinking those buildings are definitely not default. Like, that's not auto-gen. That smacks of somebody's been in there and put custom buildings in, and I can see the Panama Bridge. See it? Whoa. As if they've actually come here and put some stuff. They kept that quiet. I don't remember seeing anything about this, like saying they've put custom scenery in Panama. This, oh wow. Just look at that skyline. Yeah, we got to fly over there. What we'll do is we'll fly along the river here. Or the canal, sorry. We'll fly, you can see it loading scenery. We'll fly along the canal, we'll overfly the bridge, we'll turn to the east, fly around the city and have a look, and then we'll circle back and land the airports around here somewhat. So we're looking at a little VFR map now. Yeah, so we'll follow it this way. We'll go that way, then circle back and land at MPMG. Oh my god, look at that. I never imagined that they would come in here and do this. This is actually quite exciting. So here we can see like some of the locks. There's one bar. Probably like one of the older ones. Yeah, that documentary I watched about the engineering that's involved in the Panama Canal, it's unbelievable. See it break out the mist then. We went through some mist and then it went clear again. I love that. So many details. Look at the buildings. They're all custom, aren't they? And then you've even got some like random high-rise buildings. There's another lock here. And then there's a big one here with this may be the new one. The only way they could make this better is tidy it up and put some actual ships in it. And also this weird graphical artifact thing. Oh boy, look at this. Do you know what? I mean, considering this is default scenery in the game, this is amazing. Look at this. I mean, we'll ignore that bit of land there. That's obviously a tessellation problem. This is remarkable. I need to fly around here a lot more. Look at that look at the weather in the distance. Look at that. It's so authentic. And they put the bridge in. This is the airport to the left. Look, oh my god. There's some proper custom buildings there, look. That is so cool. Look at that cloud in the distance, can you see? Like a thermal rise. You can see the textures of some more container ships here, look. Massive dockyard. Do you know, it's all the guys from Australia are now going to be livid because I did a video where we went to Sydney and they're all like, where's Sydney Harbour Bridge? And everybody from like South America's going, ha ha, we've got the Panama Bridge. They've actually put it in. Look at that. That is great. And then you've got this little peninsula of land as well. That is something else. Look at that. Does it get any better? What even is this? Is that for real? Is that a road? Surely that can't be a road. What's all that about? Why would anybody build a road like that? Okay, it's time for us to make a turn. Let's go northeast. We'll fly along the, oh my god, we'll fly along the coast and have a look at this. I don't know what to say about that. That's just amazing. I mean, they're all custom. I need to go and look at the skyline of Panama and see how authentic this is. This reminds me of something out of Dubai. That's just nuts. Actually nuts. I mean, you can look at it and you can pick holes in it, right? I mean, all the stuff down the front here, you can pick holes in it all day long. But considering they've been through and actually put custom buildings in, and this is for free with the game, along with the rest of the world, this is pretty crazy. They could spend the next 10 years refining this scenery, couldn't they? What is this? That's got to be a hotel. That's got to be a hotel or something. That's amazing, that thing. Not sure about that. I don't think that can be... I think that's an error, sure. I think this massive high-rise just randomly stuck down there. Doesn't make much sense. But everything else here, look at that. That is so cool. Well, that was a pretty cool tour of Panama. I think we better start planning to put this thing down on the ground. Bring ourselves round and vector ourselves in. Okay, so the actual airfield is over there. So we'll probably fly a bit more north and then come around. Just do a long base leg. I don't want to go into these hills though. Probably end up over those trees somewhere. What a beautiful coastline. Look at the turbulence kicking in. As we fly into these clouds and stuff, it's starting to get a bit bumpy. I hate that. Scroll wheel zooms. Okay, we're going to landing lights on now. I'm going to put the pitot on while we've got all this cloud around. Airfield is over there, off our left wing. To the west now. put ourselves more or less on a base leg. We've got an amazing cover of trees on the approach, so we're going to hold altitude so we can at least get over them. Start throttling back. We have the runway lights in sight. See the runway now. Gonna get the first stage of flaps down. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting approach, I think. Okay, parking brake is off. Turn off the fuel transfer because I've completely asymmetrically. I've got fuel load asymmetric now because I forgot to turn it off, which I said I would. Oh, this is a tailwind. This is no good. I swear, when I was on the live weather forecast on the map, we've got a 3-knot tailwind. Oh, we'll take it. Strictly speaking, we should go around, but 3 knots is not gonna. I think at ground level with those trees, it won't matter anyway. Yeah, when I was on the main screen and looking at the wind prediction, well, the wind live, it was coming in from like 180, so it's obviously just swung around. Right, we need to keep it reasonably high over these trees, and then it's going to be quite a steep glide slope in. So flaps are fully deployed, gears down, lights are on. I don't even know if we've got any working pappy lights, if I'm honest. I don't see them. This is going to be a long glide in, blimey. I think they need to cut some of these trees down. These are probably auto-gen trees, it's probably not this bad in real life. Give some speed brakes right now. It's alright, we've got plenty of runway. Tailwind's not helping either. There we go. Wow, this looks quite good, doesn't it? Was this a default airport? Because this looks amazing if it is. We exit door right, I think. If we can. There's a GA section over there. So somebody's about to leave. Okay, landing lights off, strobe off, taxi light on, clear the flaps. Yo, you can wait for me to come past, bro. Nice, he did as well. That's pretty cool. He didn't just slam straight into me. Oops, one of these marker lights is in the wrong place, look. This one here. If he's there, well, we've got a marshaller around. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, we'll just stick it here somewhere. Engine's running on that yellow one. Okay, parking brake is set, taxi light can come off. Let's see, pitot can go off. Everything else is good. Avionics can come off now. And then electric master can come off. Welcome to Panama. This is quite a nice airfield, actually. I don't know, it looks default, but it's actually pretty good. But that skyline, oh my god, that skyline. Look at that. Definitely an interesting approach coming in over the trees. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed that. That was a fantastic flight. Really, really cool. Nutty 555 on another great trip. I'm sure you found the frame rates interesting. Again, let me know what you think in the comments if there's any suggestions or things you want to see. That is it from me, guys. So take care and happy flying.